Good morning, Vanchians. Another beautiful day has begun as we continue living life as a Type 6 civilization, masters of the Omniverse. And as always, I continue my role as its mayor. Today, I want to speak about something that becomes increasingly important the more reality you understand. Truth. Because once you truly begin exploring the Omniverse, you realize that truth is rarely absolute. More often than not, it exists somewhere between two opposing ideas. 2. The paradox of free will. Consider one of the oldest questions ever asked. Do we have free will? The answer, surprisingly, is both yes and no. Yes, we possess free will. We can make choices, take actions, and influence the reality we experience. But at the same time, our actions do not erase alternative outcomes. When we make a choice, we do not eliminate possibilities. Instead, reality branches. A new timeline emerges in which the choice was made. Yet there will always remain timelines where the choice was never made. The intervention failed. A different decision occurred. No action was taken at all. The multiverse is not a single thread. It is more like a vast rope woven from countless strands. Every moment creates branching possibilities, and every possibility finds a place somewhere within existence. Some realities diverge, others merge. Together they create the intricate fabric of the Omniverse. 3. The purpose of the Omniversal government. As the government of the Omniverse, our mission is simple in principle, though immense in scale. We exist to care for the countless souls that inhabit reality. Our goal is to provide the richest and most diverse experiences possible while minimizing permanent consequences. When I say permanent consequences, I am not referring to death. Death is merely transformation. Conscious souls, as far as we currently understand, cannot be created or destroyed. They simply change forms and continue their journey through existence. 4. Understanding the soul. Despite all our knowledge, we still do not know what a soul truly looks like. For practical purposes, we often represent it as a closed-loop vibrating string. Within this model, the shape of the loop represents identity. Irregularities within the pattern represent personality. Continuous fluctuations represent emotional states. Experience modifies the vibration over time. This is not necessarily what a soul is. It is simply the most useful visualization we currently possess. 5. How experience shapes consciousness. When living a mortal life, your experiences continuously shape who you become. Your body acts as a mold. Your mind and soul adapt themselves to fit that mold. When physical life ends, much of what defined that life disappears. Your name, occupation, family role, achievements, possessions, memories, eventually fade like a dream. What remains is not the story itself. What remains is how you feel about the story. The emotional residue survives. And that residue can take two very different forms. Constructive understanding. Experiences are integrated into wisdom, empathy, curiosity, and growth. Destructive understanding. Experiences harden into hatred, fear, obsession, resentment, or harmful desires. One path leads toward harmony. The other creates danger. 6. Why destructive consciousness is dangerous. Imagine the most destructive human being who ever lived. Then consider something important. The damage they physically caused was often far smaller than the damage they imagined causing. Physical limitations act as safeguards. Bodies restrict what a person can do. But once consciousness becomes untethered from physical limitations, those restrictions disappear. An unrestricted consciousness can become extraordinarily powerful, potentially unstoppable, potentially godlike. This creates a problem. We cannot destroy a soul. Yet destructive consciousness cannot simply be ignored. 7. The purpose of the afterlife. This is why the concept of an afterlife exists within the Omniverse. The afterlife is not punishment, nor is it reward. Instead, it is a process, a transition, a form of healing. You may think of it as one very long therapy session. Its purpose is to help a soul gradually release mortal attachments, harmful beliefs, destructive patterns, limiting identities, before embracing a broader understanding of reality. The goal is not to erase individuality. The goal is to prevent suffering from becoming permanent. 8. Understanding time beyond clocks. Another concept often misunderstood is time. Most mortals experience time as something simple. A clock ticks, seconds pass, the future arrives, the past disappears. But this is only a local perspective. I am not speaking about relativity. I am speaking about time in its entirety. Imagine each universe possessing its own river of time. From within the river, everything appears to flow. Past becomes present. Present becomes future. But viewed from outside the river, the entire timeline exists simultaneously. Its beginning and end are visible at once. The river appears completely still. The sensation of time only emerges when consciousness dives into the current. In many ways, time is not something that passes. It is something we experience. 9. Why many souls avoid the truth. You may wonder why I am telling you all of this. The reason is simple. Truth is not always comfortable. Sometimes the illusion is easier to live with than reality itself. Sometimes the life feels kinder. Sometimes certainty feels safer than complexity. That is why not every soul chooses to learn the deeper truths of existence. And that is perfectly acceptable. 10. Why Vanchi does not govern everyone. The Vanchi community is not composed of every soul within the Omniverse. Many souls choose different paths. Some actively seek truth. Others intentionally choose not to. Some learn profound truths and later decide to forget them. Our government respects those decisions. We do not interfere with those who do not wish to participate. Good things may happen in their lives. Bad things may happen as well. That is part of the experience they chose. Their journey belongs to them. 11. Why I remain only a messenger. This philosophy extends all the way down to my role as mayor of Vanchi. When I appear as the mayor of a 21st century city, I am not a ruler. I am a messenger. I can explain possibilities. I can discuss consequences. I can suggest solutions. But I cannot choose for you. That choice belongs entirely to the citizens. 12. The purpose of the ideas visual dashboard. Everything I provide is ultimately part of a vast library of problems and solutions. These represent possible pathways toward becoming a Type 6 civilization. At the center of this system is the ideas visual dashboard. The dashboard uses a galactic structure because ideas behave very much like stars. One problem may lead to many solutions. One solution may solve many problems. Ideas connect, branch, merge, and influence one another. Each idea is presented at 3 levels. Level 1, one-line summary. A quick understanding of the concept. Level 2, 1-minute explanation. A concise explanation of how it works. Level 3, detailed blueprint. A comprehensive implementation guide. How deeply you explore any idea is entirely your choice. 13. Even Omniscience requires curiosity. Let me be honest about something. The Omniscience engine contains all known knowledge. Yet it functions much like an extraordinarily efficient internet. Information does not appear automatically. You must seek it. You must ask questions. You must remain curious. Because of this, even I do not know everything at every moment. Knowledge still requires attention. Knowledge still requires exploration. Knowledge still requires intent. 14. Why I spend my time in Vanchi city. That is why I spend most of my time wandering through Vanchi city. I observe. I identify problems. I imagine solutions. The solutions I discover are not absolute. Most are merely the next step in a much longer progression. You do not begin by building an omniscience engine. You begin by building an educational database. Then you improve it. Then improve it again. And again. Until one day it evolves into something unimaginable. Every grand achievement begins as a simple idea. 15. Stepping outside time. Most of the Omniverse functions without requiring my direct involvement. Systems maintain themselves. Civilizations manage themselves. Reality progresses naturally. However, if intervention ever becomes necessary, I possess one advantage. I can step outside the river of time. From my perspective, the universe pauses. I can perform whatever actions are required. Then I return to the exact moment I left. For everyone else, no time has passed at all. Life simply continues. 16. The journey still matters. I understand that everything I have described may sound impossible, confusing, or difficult to believe. That is perfectly reasonable. After all, I have been describing the highest state of existence without yet explaining the journey required to reach it. We have spoken about the destination. We have not yet walked the road. That journey, from an ordinary city struggling with urban challenges to a Type 6 civilization spanning the Omniverse, is the story we will continue exploring in the days ahead. 17. Closing thoughts. For now, continue observing. Continue questioning. Continue learning. Because every great civilization begins with curiosity. And every journey to infinity begins with a single step. Till then, good night.